Welcome back to the Chad Hasty Show on News Talk 95.1 FM and 790 AM KFYO. We switch gears a little bit right now. We take a turn to take a look at energy and how energy is doing here in the United States. And joining us on the phones right now, a pleasure to visit with our next guest, the Secretary of Energy, Dan Brouillette, here on the Chad Hasty Show. Secretary Brouillette, thanks again for joining us. We appreciate your time.
Hey, good morning, Chad. Great to be with you.
Absolutely. We're coming down to it, to an election here that really does, pit two different ideologies when it comes to energy before the American people. And I don't know how many people are really paying attention to the differences between what the administration has done and what Democrats want to do with the Green New Deal and some of their other energy thoughts. Talk a little bit about just some of the milestones that this administration has had when it comes to energy.
Sure, Chad. Happy to do that. The differences couldn't be more stark between the president's approach and the approach that some on Capitol Hill would take with regard to energy. Look, I'll just tell you, Chad, really quickly, 3 or 4 decades ago, this nation imported an enormous amount of oil from the Middle East, from places like Saudi Arabia, other parts of the Middle East, and we were wholly dependent upon them for that oil. They could have shut down our economy in very short order at any moment in time. That's no longer the case. We've moved from that world, an importing nation, to now the nation or the world's largest producer of both oil and gas. We are now a net energy exporter. Just a tremendous difference. And the way that we did this, the way the president was able to do this, is by adopting what he refers to as a true all-of-the-above strategy. So what he means by that is producing all forms of energy. That includes coal. That includes oil. It includes gas. It includes nuclear. It includes renewables. It's producing all of the energy that we have here in America. And by doing that, he has provided us with not only energy security, but national security as well.
Well, I think it's something that just makes sense to do, right?
Absolutely. We're blessed with so many resources here, Chad. The United States has the largest coal reserves in the world. We are the Saudi Arabia of coal. And coal can be used quite efficiently and quite cleanly. And I know that there are some who want us to move away from it. And look, there are some things that we should do to move away from it. Perhaps we shouldn't use it in every electricity generation facility in the country today. But there are technologies like carbon capture and utilization that we can use where we strip the carbon off. When it's combusted, we strip the carbon off, and then others will buy it and use it for oil recovery in other parts of the world. So, we're blessed with these resources. The president recognizes that. And if we can produce this energy here, again, it produces jobs here and it produces security here. So I think it's an approach that makes sense, and we have a great track record of showing that it does make sense.
How is and obviously here in our part of Texas, really throughout the state of Texas, people care about the oil industry. How's the oil industry looking right now?
It's coming back, Chad. Look, we're in some tough times. I mean, these guys have had a double whammy thrown at them. We had a dispute with the Russians and the Saudis earlier this year where, the Saudis in particular decided to both increase production and lower prices, creating some real instability in the marketplace in that March-April timeframe. The president stepped in and resolved that deal. But we had a pandemic that just took away the demand for refined product all across the world. So it's been a double hit for these guys. And I'm proud to say that the economy is coming back very, very strongly. This V-shaped recovery that the president talks about is real. We're seeing it all across the country. So the industry is going to come back with that increased demand. And they're going to be fine. They're going to do great. As we talked about in the past, the good news is Texas is no stranger to boom and bust. And these people know how to do it. They save their money. They understand what these tough times mean. They also understand that there's some bright sunshine on the other side of this darkness. So yeah. I'm very proud of them. I'm very proud of what they're doing, and they're coming back very strong.
Let's say in the future a Green New Deal type of energy plan is implemented here in the United States. What would that do? One, to the economy, two, to jobs, and just what would it do to this nation?
Well, I just can't imagine the devastation that would be caused if some of these policies were to be implemented. You know, I'll tell you, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce tells me, you know, we talk a lot about fracking because this is the technology that has, the hydraulic fracturing is the technology that has given us the ability to become the number one oil and gas producer in the world. There are some who oppose this type of technology. They think it's unsafe. And if you got rid of that, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce tells me that we would lose 19 million jobs that are associated either directly in the energy industry or affiliated with the energy industry. 19 million jobs, Chad, would go away if we eliminated that one technology. So these are important policy conversations for us to have, but they have dramatic negative impacts.
Secretary of Energy, we know you're busy. You're a busy man today. We appreciate you taking some time to visit with us once again, and hopefully we'll get to visit again later on.
Hey, Chad, great to be with you.
Thank you. That's Secretary of Energy Dan Brouillette here on the Chad Hasty Show.